Great rising, great rising. Well, here we are. It is the plasma, DALI 11.1. And we're here, I'm here, Shifa is here, talking to you about bringing you let me do something with this camera here, the cosmocentric view. So, yep, I'm going to talk about how it is that we're missing out on so much that is available to us because we are so earthbound, and we are really planetary beings having a cosmic experience in a spiritual context, and we think we're all tied up in religion. Well, and points of view, and because it ain't just about religion, it's about our belief system, our limiting beliefs, and how do we get out of them when we were born into a conversation that's a big fat lie. Okay, so I'm your host Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth. I've been a natural healer for 45 years. I'm also a financial professional, first licensed in 1998, so I've been around the industry for a while. So I know a little bit about money, and how to get wealthy and how to make money work for you. That's what it's about. This conversation, however, is about our galactic consciousness. And we are embarking on day one. This is a 28-day program, and it is called a 28-day program, Introduction to Galactic Consciousness. So why am I talking about galactic consciousness? As a healer, one of the things that has been a thread throughout my service has been the need to constantly upgrade, up-level, right? So not necessarily techniques, because healing is ancient, right? The body has the ability to heal itself. All we do, those of us who call ourselves healers, all we do is assist the body to do what it wants to do naturally, and assist you to wrap your mind around doing the things that's necessary for your body to heal naturally. Okay, so when I'm talking about upgrade, I'm meaning in consciousness. So at first it was back in the 70s, everybody just wants to eat better, right? So it's organic, everything that you can find, because it was no wellness revolution yet. Okay, picture this, right? In the 70s. So no wellness revolution, no health food stores everywhere. My health food store was the garage of one of my friends who used to order organic goods and produce from California, and I lived in New Jersey. Okay, so that's what it was like. And the books to read were How to Eat to Live, that changed my life. And I'll think of some of the other ones, but those of you who remember back in the day know that there was not hardly as much information as there is available today. And young people coming in, and they born vegan. Okay, they're coming in with the consciousness. So when I'm talking about the up-leveling of consciousness, so it went from healing the body, then recognizing it's a body-mind situation, and then it's a body-mind emotional, right? So now we've got add spirit, body, mind, character, reflection, right? And then it's healthy finances, and it's 13 dimensions, and that moves us into a conversation about how broad our lives really are, and that the understanding of vibrational medicine and vibrational healing, raising the body's vibration, moves you into health and healing, because at 62 hertz, that is when your body frequency is low enough where you can actually get disease. You keep your body at a high frequency, and you're immune. You just, unless you get impacted by an accident or the environment, your body cell structure is healthy and vibrant enough at a high frequency, right? Vibrating at a high frequency that illness can't affect you. So this conversation about consciousness, okay, is where we are now, because it is our minds that really are in need of the healing, so that we can raise the vibration of our brain, okay, this muscle in our head, our brain, which is a receiving and transmitting organ, if you will, and it receives the frequency from the cosmos, we're galactic citizens. And I'm going to break this conversation down so that we really can get clear that the earth is in space, and that when we're walking around on the planet, we are walking around in space. The sky touches the ground, okay? The body is, if you think of it as a spacesuit, and the better care you take of it, the longer it will last you, okay? And we are in space. Come on, right? We're one of many planets. We are living in a solar system that is where we are revolving around the sun, and we have a moon that revolves around the earth. And this whole consciousness of thinking beyond the planet, beyond the foot on the concrete, beyond what's just right here on our planet, realizing that we are citizens of a galactic community, okay, that is in order, that everything is happening in what's called synchronic order. The planets stay on course. The sun does what it's supposed to do, providing everything that our planet needs to sustain life. Right? The moon phases, it affects the water, and the stars are moving around in the heavens. All right, so all of this is happening, and we down here like this, right? And we just on Earth, and we just doing the Earth thing, and it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. So I get it. I'm just trying to make a living. I got to take care of my family. I have time to think about all of that. But when you think about all that, it raises your vibration and puts you in the frequency, in the 1320 frequency of the rest of the cosmos, of the rest of the galaxy. It puts you in sync with how the earth is moving around the sun, and how the moon is moving around the earth, and how the planets are transiting, and the stars, and how many years it takes for it to come by, and all that kind of stuff. We're living on a planet that is active, that is alive. So yes, we're having a cosmocentric view. It is time to rise. It's time to awaken to who and what we really are, and where we are in time and space. And I'm going to share with you how that relates to you making a living, okay? How that relates to your material well-being on the earth. Because the natural state of the universe is abundance. And we've been lied to in terms of believing in scarcity, like there's not enough to go around. And that's what the conversation we're born into would have us to believe. So if you have not already downloaded your 28-day workbook, your 28-day intro to Galactic Consciousness workbook, you can do so. See if I can. Well, if you don't have it already, you can go to, where can you go? You can go to, go to the event. Go to the planetary full moon event that we just had, and look in the feed. I know, we're going to put you to work, hey, right? You have to exert energy if you're going to elevate. So, and I will put it in the feed when I get finished here, so you can just push the button and go to the website and download it. ShifaHarmoniousHealing.com, ShifaHarmoniousHealing.com, and you'll see a tab that says Natural Mind. If you click on that, it should give you some links where it will take you to where you can download the workbook. So let's get started. Let's get started with this conversation, because I really don't want to rant. I want you to really just get it about how this is important to you in your life right now, no matter what you have going on, because this is your life. Okay, you are born onto a planet, and the planet is alive and is in relationship with all the other planets, the sun, the moon, and the stars. And the clearer you are about that, the deeper your understanding in the motion of that puts you in sync, in divine order with how everything is moving. You say, well, maybe I think I'm already there. Well, if you're still following the Gregorian calendar with 30 days one month and 31 days another month and 28 or 29 days in another month, and the weekdays are never the same, and it's totally irregular. Totally irregular. If you're following an irregular timing mechanism and a mechanical clock, you are not in tune with the universe. You are not in tune with the galaxy. Okay? You are out of sync with the cosmos. And I'm here to help us to not only understand and realize that, but to get in sync. Because when you do, it opens up the abundance, and all of the things that you want for your life is already given. It's already there. But so the universe is going like this, and we're going sideways, right? The universe is going right, and it's in a circular mode. So it's really like this, right? And we're going like this. And so this linear path is like having blinders on, right? It has you in a box. And so this linear path is taking you down has taken generations of us down a path that does not serve us, that has trapped us in a artificial construct. So let's get started. All right. So I'm going to read some of this and highlight some of it, and it really is a workbook for you to work through. That's what a workbook is for, right? It's for you to work through. I'm just going to highlight some of the language in here, and hopefully give you a clearer path in your mind, and reasoning as to why you should even care about a cosmocentric conversation, and why it's necessary for you at this time to get involved in the galactic timing that the Creator set in place. Yeah, it's deep like that. Okay, so the conversation starts, 28-day program. I know you can't see that, right? Okay, 28-day program. We are a fractal microcosm. Fractal. We are a fractal microcosm of a vast cosmic plan. There's a lot of conversation about a divine plan, right? So and that divine plan includes the cosmos. So let's get with it. Our human body is a reflection of the holographic nature of the galaxy. Throughout history, the galactic quality of our consciousness has been dormant. Because we've just only been paying attention to what's happening on Earth, right? So we haven't noticed what's going on in the heavens. We haven't really paid attention to that. Now is the time to awaken. Now is the time for it to awaken. That galactic consciousness, is time to wake up. And here's why it's time. In 2012, the cycle closed, the dispensation, right? So you read about the dispensations of time, and you don't really know how that has any bearing on your life, or you read it in the Bible or whatever your scripture is, and it talks about eons and ages and dispensations of time. Well, those are counts, right? Those are cycles of time. There's 26,000 cycles in a quarter of what makes up a galactic year. Okay, 26,000 years. They're called yugas. All right. And so we closed a yuga in 2012. That's what the whole hoopla was about the Mayan calendar and all of that. And it was sensationalized to get you to think that it was fiction. But it is truth. It is truth. Get my computer back up here. Okay. It absolutely is true. So in 2013, Timeship Earth 2013 started a new cycle. A new cycle. Heliacal rising, right? Sirius B52. So it started a new cycle. And for those of you who can hear that, yes, that's where we're going. And for those of you that's strange language, yes, that's where we're going. Okay. So we're in a new time period. And what does that mean? That means that there are more energies that are being focused on the earth to deliberately raise the consciousness of the inhabitants of the planet, being human being. Okay. So the consciousness is being raised. So that's why when you look at our children, when you look at the technosphere, right? The technosphere, all of this bombardment of information, and how 25 years ago there were no cell phones, right? Just think of that, right? So, and now there are 1- and 2-year-olds that know how to absolutely get around on the technology. So that's not coming from the mind of man. That is coming as a result of the bombardment of more information. We're being informed by the cosmos. If you remember when Blu-ray came out, right? The Blu-ray have always existed. It has always existed. But at the time when the Blu-ray became popular in the technology, it was because the rays of the Blu-ray was actually more focused on our planet. So the planet is moving, right? It has a trajectory. All of the planets are moving. In 1987, when the harmonic convergence took place, when all of the planets lined up, okay, and it was the beginning of the ending of the cycle. In 1986, right? In 1987. So now here we are 5 years in, because the new cycle started in 2013. We're 5 years in, and this conversation is planetary. There is a movement for calendar reform, so that we can get our consciousness where it needs to be. As the planet is rising, the planet is moving up an octave in the cosmos. And as that's happening, our consciousness is rising as well. And so you see all of the turmoil and the dissolution. So all of the systems that do not work are fading away, right? So the political scene, the market, all of those things, will they completely go away? No, I don't know. But what I'm saying to you is the things that are not working, that are not humanity plus, the things that are humanity minus, will self-destruct. So because the consciousness is moving toward good and divine, the planet is in divine order. And the more it is that we understand that as galactic citizens, right, in cosmic consciousness, in galactic consciousness, the more we tune in, the more we are attracted or attuned to it, and it has powerful positive results in our life, in everything that we put our hand to, and most importantly, everything that we think about. So I just got through, I didn't even get through the first paragraph, but I'm going to let you know how and why it's time for this consciousness to awaken. So galactic refers to the galaxy. The universe consists of numberless galaxies. The Maya described a galaxy and its center as Hunab-Ku. Hunab-Ku. Hunab, capital Ku. Hunab-Ku. One giver of movement and measure. one giver of movement and measure. So in this 28-day program, we commit to further awakening the awareness of our galactic center, right? The nature of us as human being on planet Earth is a galactic nature, right? And so we're committing to come into the awareness, awaken to the awareness of our own galactic center by immersing our minds in a new way of thinking, okay? A new way of thinking in resonance with the Hunapku, the center of the galaxy. The center of the galaxy. So just like the galaxy, our body is equipped with the regenerative capacity. So remember I said that the body has the ability to heal itself, and most people really recognize that nowadays. So our body is equipped with this regenerative capacity to not only heal, but to transmute energy. To transmute energy. That means turn it from one thing into another thing. We're equipped to do that. But nobody teaches us that in school. We don't go to college to learn how to do that. Okay? And it's suppressed by the media, by all the artificial everything. All right? So this ability to transmute energy and ultimately to heal the body and heal the planet. You know, like I know, that the planet is in distress. Anytime you have war, tearing down trees, you have pollution, you have violence everywhere, and the list goes on, right? The list goes on. That means that, you know, the planet is crying out, and so it becomes my responsibility as the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth to bring this information through. So I own up to that. I stand in that. So in order for us to reach this galactic consciousness, it requires a total healing of every facet of our existence, from our physical body to the planetary body and beyond, right? And beyond. Everything comes from mind. Everything comes from mind. The world is a mind matrix. All thoughts, ideas, plans, and decisions and decisions of how to live our lives are in our mind, okay? All thoughts, ideas, plans, and decisions of how to live our lives are in our mind. And most of these thought forms that we now have are embedded in our unconscious. So our unconscious is running us 99% of the time. We do things and we don't even know why, right? Our mama did it that way. Our daddy did it that way. That's just the way it is. You know, my mother put her hand on the stove, so I put my hand on the stove. You know what I'm saying? So we do the same things that we've been taught to do without question, and it's in our subconscious. And by the time we're 7, and some say 5, right? But surely by the time we're 7, and I'm choosing that number because it is a cycle, okay, in development. By the time we're 7, we already know how it's already set in our subconscious how we're going to be in our lives. So to understand that, most of the thought forms that we now have are embedded in our unconscious state, means that it's also embedded in an artificial matrix. So galactic consciousness lifts our mind above our daily drama and our daily exclusively earthly affairs to remember that we are part of a greater cosmic plan. Yeah, you will remember. This activity, this process is designed to help you remember. The codes that are contained in the synchronic order are frequency codes to help lift us out of the rote thinking and perception, right? So we think a certain way, and it's really a rut, right? It says, when you do something by rote, you just repeat it. Like most of us know the Lord's Prayer, right? And we just say it, or we know the Al-Fatiha, and we just say it. It doesn't really have any meaning, but we know how to say it, right? We're not really thinking about each word and what it really means and how that affects our lives. We just we just say the prayer, right? And then we get up and go about our business, but we said the prayer by rote. So we live our lives like that too. We just doing what we do, and we feel like as long as it's not hurting anybody, right, we're good. However, there's so much more. There's so much more when you understand the meaning behind everything in your life, right? So these codes are frequencies that help us live. So I talked about vibration and how it brings us up, right, and gets us out of our rote or our rut ideas and perceptions. Now, there are places where when you begin to embrace this, when I say places, there are going to be places in your mind, okay, that are feeling, right, that are feeling and new, and you're going to have memory come back about things long ago, and you also things that need to be addressed will come up in a gracious way, okay? So just remembering that everything comes from mind, and that our galactic consciousness, as it lifts us above our daily drama and the earthly affairs, these codes lift us up and raise our vibrational frequency. It makes us vibrate at a higher rate, right? So the higher it is that you vibrate. And I talked about this in relationship to your health and your healing. The higher it is that you vibrate, the more attractive you are, the slower it is that you age, right? And your environment takes on a whole higher resonance, right? Your aura is brighter, okay? And as I said, you become more attractive. And I don't mean attractive necessarily to someone who might be interested in you. I'm talking about attractive to the higher frequencies that bring the things that you are desiring to have in your life, whatever that is, okay? Whatever that is. So these codes raise us up. So recognizing that everything is vibrating, right? Everything from the bed you sleep in to the stars in the sky. And what we're talking about here is higher dimensions. And when we say dimensions, we're talking about vibrating faster at higher frequencies. So I talked about having 13 dimensions that in our lives that need healing. That means that they all need to be brought up to a higher dimension, okay? I also mentioned that you'll begin to remember things. So there are memory keys that will begin to unlock, but only to the degree that you commit to doing this work. This is an internal work, okay? Only to the degree that you commit to doing this work. All right. Let's see, where am I? So this means that we are continuously examining our core beliefs, because we said that we're operating by rote unconsciously. So now we get to take a look. That's what awakening means. That's what awakening means. It means that we are paying attention, right? It means we're paying attention. So by examining our core belief system, we want to make sure that it supports our highest blueprint. Our highest blueprint. So what is the highest blueprint? The highest blueprint is the synchronic order that is in sync with the universe. That is our highest blueprint. And it has everything to do with these keys, these openings that happen in your mind, in your brain, because the rays are coming, the higher frequency is coming from above, and it's coming by itself. And when you tune into it, it's like you change the channel, and your whole world looks different when you tune in and when you commit to doing the work. And the more it is that you commit to do the work, the more the energy comes into you, and it's like amazing, okay? So what are we doing? We're creating a new model of reality. We are creating a new model of understanding, a new model of a context, right? So that we understand what is happening to us and what's happening to the earth as we are moving forward. So this 28-day process is a roadmap to help us to discover what's really going on with us outside of the artificial construct of get up, go to work every day, get up, go to school every day, get that degree, the letters behind your name, and then grind your whole life, right? It has to be more than that, right? Yeah, it is, right? So smile. Oh yeah, it's much more than that. Much more than that. The plan, the synchronic order is divine. There is a divine plan. So breathe and give thanks. And give thanks. All right. So next it's going to talk about, now that was just page 1. So I'm just giving my commentary. When you download your book, you'll go through the process. You'll go through and read it yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Read it yourself and gain your own understanding. Jose Aguilez, who is you'll learn about who he is, but he's the author and the one who was ordained, if you will, as the closer of the cycle. The closer of the cycle. So he's the one that brought forth the information in this time about the ancient calendar of the indigenous. And so here's a quote here. It says, "The vision for what we are to become is already within us, awaiting the proper discipline through which it might be appropriately expressed." Okay. So what does it mean to be on mission? To be on mission is to choose to go in the direction of increased consciousness rather than confusion. Increased consciousness rather than confusion. That's what it means to be on mission. All right? So when you are attuned to the galactic frequencies, everything is included. So you will hear me say, and it's coming by itself, because everything is already included. You're already designed to do exactly what you are called to do, be on mission to do. Inside of you. It's already inside of you. But we've been on this linear path thinking that you go to school to get a good education, to get a good job, and work the rest of your life, and hope that you get enough money and that you don't become poor, and everything is about chasing the dollar, right? Everything's about chasing the dollar in this artificial construct. When you recognize that that's artificial, and you're willing to admit that it's artificial, and you're willing to shift your calendar, and it's really a simple process. You're willing to shift your calendar, so you'll still look at the calendar that you're following, because the whole world is on that, right? Well, a lot of the world, because many of us have shifted on a planetary level, right? But it's still in business, it's still the norm. So yeah, you'll run 2 calendars, but one you are running that raises your vibration, that is who it is that you are in connection with the oneness of the relationship, this vertical relationship. And then this other calendar is the horizontal relationship, that is all that irregular stuff. So you look out at the world and you see how irregular it is, right? And there's no order. And then you look at the 13 moon perpetual calendar and you see all of the order, and then your life begins to take on that order. And it comes by itself. It's coming by itself. Everything is included on the path of the synchronic order. Everything's included. All right? So synchronicity is the norm of the universe. Everything in the universe is in sync. Synchronicity is the norm of the universe. We live in the universe. Synchronicity is the norm. Divine order, synchronic order is the norm. So if things are not going the way that you want them to go in your life, right, and it doesn't seem like things line up, it's because you're not lined up. And when you get lined up, everything else lines up. And it's like magic. I'm telling you, and I'm talking to you from experience. I'm talking to you from experience. Okay? Because I couldn't bring it if it wasn't so. I wouldn't even be able to talk about it. Right? So I'm going to get through this. Rising above the disharmony of the calendars and the mechanical clocks. That's what this is about. Because those two things, the Gregorian calendar and the mechanical clock, has disconnected humanity from the synchronic flow of the universe. Think about that. All right? So, get started. I'm going to let you work through this. Because, yes, I'm going to come back every day and break down some of the finer points. And how it's working for me in my life, and what it means, and the experiences that I'm having, and through the chat and through the calls, for those of you who've paid the $20 for the VIP, I'll talk to you on the phone and we can work it through. I'll be back. Okay, I'll be back. This is the work for you to do. For you to get in sync, for you to raise your vibration. I can't do it for you. No one can do it for you. All right? So the key components to the order are 20 seals and 13 galactic tones. Okay? And you'll get to see them as part of the process. Where do you start? Now, it doesn't matter what your level is, right? You might be a priestess and you might know all about the moon and the right? So and that's no disrespect. I'm a priestess myself, okay? So you come with a skill set. You might be coming from, I don't even know what you're talking about, sis. Right? First I ever heard of it, and it doesn't matter what your level is. The universe right? So when we say that God is no respecter of persons, right? That fits here, okay? When you open yourself to the universe, it is equal for you as it is for anybody else who opens themselves up to being in sync with the universe, right? Totally impartial. The planets are moving, they're doing their thing. There's a power, a force, you can call it God, Allah, Jehovah, whatever it is that you call it, okay? The power, the force, the creator, the almighty, right? Here we talk about the one giver of movement and measure, the one giver of measure and movement, Hunabku, the center of the galaxy. The mind that's moving the galaxy is the mind that is available to you, available to us. So you don't have to figure it out. You don't have to figure it out. It's available to you. It's already built in. All you have to do is change the channel from artificial construct, Gregorian calendar, to synchronic order, divine plan, 13 moon calendar. There are not 12 months. There are 13 moons in a year. Okay? That's the way it is in the universe. So when you put yourself in that order, it doesn't matter what your level of experience is. It's about you deciding that you're getting in sync, okay? So this program is designed for anyone to enter, all right? You can come in this gate. So the 28 days will track our daily cycles. We'll track our daily cycles, their exercises and meditations. There's a natural mind meditation. We have our next natural mind half moon. I think it's coming up on the 15th. On the 15th of this month. And this moon is the spectral moon, right? So May. This is spectral moon, and it's moon 11 of the year. All right. So we'll be coming up on that. So in this program, there are the work that's required of you is the exercises that's in the workbook. Download your workbook, the exercises that's in the workbook, and also the meditations. Okay. You will need, there's a list here, you'll need a journal and crayons and all those kind of things. You want to do your 13-minute natural mind meditation for peace every day. Every day. That alone will begin to move you into a space of peace and harmony. Peace and harmony, okay? You're going to read your daily affirmations 3 times a day. Number 3, you're going to read your daily lesson. All right. And number 4, you're going to keep a journal. Number 4, you're going to keep a journal. So with that, my promise was to come every day for these 28 days. And I just love that it's recorded, because whether it's your dinner time, I'm getting ready to hop off here and go grab something to eat. It's been a really busy day. Once you do tune in, you begin to recognize that everything that you desire begins to happen for you, and you get busy in a good way that is productive and prosperous for you. All right. So 28-day introduction to galactic consciousness. I'm your host, Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth. And I'll be back a little bit later on. So for those of you who, there are several of you who are our VIP participants, and then those of you who are interested, make sure you download the workbook. I'm going to put it in the comments of this video so that you can do that. So I'm going to sign off now. Great rising, raising your frequency, your vibration to higher dimensions in your living. And I will talk to you again in maybe a little while before I go to bed tonight, right? And then I'll work on getting it some more in tomorrow. But Heptad 1 is the assignment. Heptad 1. And I'll talk to you again soon. Peace and love. Peace and love.